If you have flown lately or you're getting ready to do so, you might have heard some airport security lines have been a hot mess because of this government shutdown. You might have also heard that Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport is not one of these, at least not yet. So as ICE agents, yes, ICE agents, go to more than a dozen airports around our country, what's that mean for us? Kent talked to some arriving from those airports today, try and figure it out.
Well, it's still smooth sailing for anyone flying out of MSP this week. For those flying in, trouble's already on the horizon.
I mean, crazy.
Mario Falon showed up at 3:30 this morning for a 7 a.m. flight out of Austin, Texas.
I guess about 3:45, 15 minutes after I got there, the lines just started growing.
He says it still took him an hour and a half to make it through TSA pre-check, but that was nothing compared to Houston.
It took us like a good 2.5 hours to get through.
And Sean Brocky says most of the people in line after him and his fiance waited much, much longer.
After we had been in it for maybe an hour, it was like all the way out the building.
Houston is one of at least 9 major airports where TSA callouts exceeded 20% of the workforce this weekend, leading to long lines and unpredictable waits.
It's just a crapshoot right now.
Kyle Potter, editor of the Thrifty Traveler, says each day that the shutdown goes on creates more chance for disruption. And with the biggest spring break surge yet to hit MSP, he says travelers shouldn't chance it.
Go to the airport earlier than you otherwise would, even if it is an airport like Minneapolis, because you never know what tomorrow is going to look like. If you can skip checking a bag, I would do that. I would try to pack in just a carry-on, because the checked bag lines, especially during the thick of spring break travel season, tend to be some of the worst lines in any airport. This has become truly unpredictable, so it's really hard to give people concrete guidance beyond hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
And he says it's still way too early to know if the addition of ICE agents in some airports this morning will have much impact.
Tom Homan said today that they're starting with 14 and there will be more. When that might happen, what airports those may be, I don't know. And, you know, I think it's still very much an open question about what these ICE agents are doing.
I don't see an ICE agent looking at an x-ray machine because they're not trained in that. There are certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in the specialized jobs, help move those lines.
It's not helpful, and I don't know. It's just a confusing way to go about it, I think.
Sean says he noticed a couple of ICE officers in Houston this morning, but so far didn't notice any difference.
I don't really want them there at all, and then having to deal with them in any capacity, it's just a free zone for them to pick people off, I would assume.
I guess it's better than having people walk off the job, right? But as long as they're not, harassing people like they were doing out in the streets, I think that'd be fine.
I spoke to several travelers off camera as well, and one thing everyone agreed on was that TSA workers deserve to get paid, especially during this political standoff in Washington that caused all of this. On that note, Republican Senator John Kennedy confirmed today that he and Senator Ted Cruz had a plan to work with Democrats to restore funding for TSA pay, but that President Trump killed that plan, refusing any deal unless Dems support the voter ID bill known as the SAVE Act. Jana.
And late this afternoon, John Thune said that those two bills going together are a no-go. It cannot happen. And so here we are yet again back at what are we going to do about TSA agents in our airports?
Exactly. And Kyle said that has him concerned for the long term, because how does TSA hire long term? And if travelers have to wait 4 hours, they're just going to end up driving more often.
Right. And if I'm a TSA worker that's thinking about not going to work and I see that kind of story, I think I might call off.
Right.
Thanks so much, Kent. We'll be right back.